Welcome back, dear viewers. It is still program Life Connect, navigating life together. It is very hot in here. The women of God have been, spitting scriptures about marriage, and I know right now we know what marriage is. We know the right context of marriage, and here we are. We are educated women. Sometimes we are business women. We are women who bring something to the table, and now our challenge is career. How do we balance career with marriage? We want to make the money, we want to be responsible, we want to bring something on the table. But again, we also have to respect our spouses or our husbands. We have to love our wives. We have to give them time. Women of God, I don't know how we are going to go about this, but the audience is waiting and we are like, okay, here we are. Thank you.
Proverbs 14 verse 1 says, a wise woman build a house, and a foolish one pluck it with her own hands. Yes. So homes are built by wisdom. Marriage is built by wisdom and by the word of God. So it's very important for people to understand it, that if I'm a career woman, but I need to balance my home. Yes, I'm so high up there. I'm a career woman. I've studied, I've gone to school, and I thank God for that, and we thank God for that. But we need to have a balance.
Yes.
When I'm in the office, I occupy my position.
Yes.
I do what I'm supposed to do. There are people who are blessed who are lawyers. There are people who are managers. There are people who are speakers of parliament. Others are presidents today, and who have that high position. Others are senior pastors, and they are women, and they are having churches and big congregation, and God is using them mightily. But it takes wisdom to understand which office am I operating into right now.
Yes.
Where am I?
Yes.
If I'm in the office, of course I have all the authority to command and to do whatever I'm supposed to do. But if I'm a wife, what does the Bible say about me as a wife? I go back in the scripture where the Bible says, wives submit to your husband. I don't say because I'm a speaker of parliament, I silence everybody in the parliament. When I'm in the house, I also do the same in the marriage. I start to tell the husband, order!
Order in the house.
Order, including the man of the house. It doesn't work that way.
Yes.
So it takes wisdom to say, okay, well, God
Yes.
has blessed me.
Yes.
God has raised me. But this raised and blessed woman also needs a husband.
Yes.
So how do husband be treated?
Yes.
Because it doesn't mean that when you are highly placed and you are such up there, your career, you will not need a man. The nature will tell you. You will still need somebody. So it takes wisdom to play that role. And even the husband, you are a bishop, you are a chief justice, you are a president, but you are married. Your career may not, it is very important. We appreciate it. But again, the nature in you would demand a wife, would want to have a wife, and you have children. So still you have to calm down and play your role as a husband at home. You are a husband, you are a father. You are a lawyer in the house, and you start to say, section number so and so says this. And you're handling your children.
Yes.
When you go back to the law section, this and this and this. It doesn't work that way.
They want a friend. They want a friend. A
They're making
father.
that a father in
whom
you.
they are able, their children who are able to run, daddy. I see my daughter. For us, as we see bishop, a man of God, highly anointed, a bishop who preaches, demons disappear, he speaks with authority, preaching. But I want to thank God, when he comes home, he's a father.
Yes.
I see miracles all over him. The other day was putting his, these ones of the hair, what do you call it?
What's that?
The one who tie the girl's hair.
Plaiting.
So she wanted to tie her daddy's hair. And she was laughing, daddy doesn't have hair. Doesn't have hair. Well, no, but this is a bishop who everybody would wonder, what is she doing to him? But he's a father.
Yes.
So you are able to know that right now I'm in which office, I'm a father. So you allow children around you to ask you questions, talk to you, and put on shows, play soccer with them. You are a father. Just say, bring the anointing oil every time. I'm speaking tongue shaka ya taraba, and you are unapproachable. So we should be able to balance and know that which office am I operating into.
Yes, Pastor. And I wanted to add as well, I think we're talking about values earlier.
Yes.
I find that careers, big positions, positions of power amplify who we are.
That's true.
So already if you are someone who is bossy, and you imagine if you're in such a position, you want to boss people around, it's very important to know that these are offices.
Exactly.
But who are you as an individual?
individual.
And even if you're in those places, people will know you for who you are. They will define you as a kind person, or you are rude, or you don't treat people well. You know, it is very important to know that when we are in those roles, we elude such behavior and do the same at home. I think it's one preacher, as Reverend Funke was saying, if your Christianity is not working at home, don't bother exporting it. I think it's very important to know that that is a position, but as an individual, you are married. You have a responsibility to your wife, to your husband, to your children, to your spouse. Don't mix up the two and say, oh, because I'm a headmaster of a school, you know.
You make children to run the whole
let them run. They are giving me honor. Yes, they are giving you honor. You are the senior pastor. You have honor. But what do your children talk about you?
Exactly.
What does your wife say about you? What does your husband say about you?
Actually,
we need to be intentional about that.
Very important.
Yes.
You know, the whole world can celebrate you.
Yes.
But because they spend few hours with you, they don't really know you.
Yes.
But these people who know you, have spent with you, you know, there is always that picture people give in the public, but there's that real picture that you are.
What they are.
If I spend 10 minutes with your children, I'm able to understand what kind of a father you are, what kind of a mother are you, what kind of a wife are you, what kind of a husband are you, if I spend some time with your wife. Because the whole world can upload you.
Yes.
But the real you
is
is
the person
known.
you are in the private.
The person you are
That
in the
is
private is the real person you are.
Yes.
So if the people around you are able to say, he is a man of God, he's a man of God. Because the whole world can say he's a man of God. There are so many things. We see 20 minutes on TV.
Yes.
But is that the real you of the TV, of the camera? Is that the real you?
Yes.
How do you talk? How do you handle yourself?
One time I had a woman of God, actually a wife to a pastor, saying that I used to look at my husband preaching to the congregation, and I could feel so bad. I'm like, okay, you see how everyone is happy except me. For me, I'm not happy. For them, everyone around else is happy, and they're cheering him up. And she reached an extent of saying that she couldn't believe what he was saying, because she was like, what the man of God was saying at the pulpit.
How I wish is what he says at home.
What he said, doing or saying at home. So it's like, okay, I wish I was only part of the congregation and never his wife.
Yes.
So
then I would benefit spiritually. There's actually, have reminded me a story. I think this man of God was in UK, and this man of God married his wife for many years. They had 3 children. No, white people don't have many children. They had their children. The children had grown. So one day they invited a visitor to their church, and the visitor started preaching and said, if you are here and your husband is not born again, raise your hand. We want to pray for you. The pastor's wife was number 1. The pastor's wife was number 1, saying, I'm here, I'm the pastor's wife, but mine is not born again. I just want to imagine, why was she saying that mine is not born again? I think because she's seeing the life of this man on the pulpit is totally different of the man at home. At home is a different man. These are people who live life that when you hear it, to be amazed that really, is that what he does at home? But in the public, he's a different person. He shows how much he loves people, yet maybe even beats his wife. There are people who beats their wife, and they come and say, don't beat your wife. It's not a good
do
thing.
as I say, not as I do. People, terminology.
So, you know, sometimes, that's why I said at one point, everybody can be a preacher, but not everybody can be real born again.
Yes.
No, because real born again, it is you now, the life you live, you and Christ. And you cannot pretend to Christ, but you can pretend preaching. You can even pretend pastoring. You can pretend to be any other thing, but you can't pretend to
your
be
character.
Your character. Your character is what defines you, the real you.
And I think, Pastor, that's why even in the church, there's increasing number of divorces. Or in the church, you find people saying, I'm so disappointed. He was on the pulpit, he was preaching. I thought he was a man of God. Oh, this wonderful lady was singing in the choir. My God, she's something else. They even start calling them very dubious statements because what they are seeing is different. And I think it goes back to what we were sharing earlier. If you're balancing your career and marital life, I think it's very important to understand your values. And for viewers who are watching me, let's raise our children with values. Because I have found, whether in the church, whether outside there, in the mosque, wherever, if you've trained your children with good morals, good values, they will carry with them. They will stay with them. That's why even the Bible tells us, train your children in the way they will go. And if they grow, like I was raised not to just go anywhere, walk around recklessly. And I'm an adult, I still behave like that, you know. So I think because I was raised like that. So it's very important that more than giving up children iPhones, parents, more than giving them these tablets, let's give our children good values. Be respectful, have love, be kind, be considerate. Don't be selfish. When your child comes home and he can't share with his brother, he's eating something alone, tell him you're not supposed to be selfish.
We have to share.
Those are people who migrate that into marriage. Yes, they are born again, but they can't share. For them, they feel like mine is mine. You can sleep hungry. For me, I have had something, and you know, because the value system, how they have been raised, and I think it's very important. But I'm thinking as well that on this topic, maybe there are people who are listening in and they are feeling like, you know, I'm struggling. Yes, I want to have a happy marriage, and I'm at that tip of I want my career as well. Someone was telling me, like, for me, I'm in the ministry, I'm in my career, I'm a wife, I'm a mother, and pastor is doing that. She knows very well. And so, as you as well, I mean, we are doing so many things. And one time someone told me, how would you do that? Like, I want it all. I want to be a good wife, great husband, but I find if I give one side, the other one suffers. So it is very important for you to have priorities. What is most important to you? You need to be someone who is organized. You have a job from 9 to 5. When you finish the job, what do you do? Create that time for your family. You know what matters is quality time. Have quality time. Let your children know, let them play with your children. As you play with them, tell them you eat like this. You know, some of the time for me, I realized that the boys were trying not now to be at the dining table when we are eating. They are running to their rooms. I said, guys, come to the dining, because it's when we get to talk about things. How was your day at school? I see how you are eating. You know, maybe when you grow up and someone's daughter will say, the way you eat, you know, because you are on that table. And I'm telling them, one day you have children of your own, and I want your wives to be proud of me. They will be like, who raised this guy? He's talking, he's eating. So at that space, as much as you are busy, particularly you intellectuals, elite of this generation, because you've gone to school, and parents, you need to know you've sent your girls to school,
and I think,
so they will not be at home.
I think people should
all
understand
the time.
Everything starts with family.
Like
we said earlier on, that despite who you are in the society or the career, but finally you still come back home. You might be spending much time at your workplace, in whatever you are doing, but like she said, the family is not demanding for quantity time, but the quality time. If you can say you are this mother who is very busy, like me now, where I am, I'm a businesswoman, I'm a pastor, I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I do so many things, but I've said to myself, I cannot be in all services. As much as I'm a pastor's wife, and moreover the senior pastor's wife, but I need to give my family time. I felt like, how can I be leaving my daughter all the time in the hands of the auntie, all the time? One time Pastor Chris preached, you know, I listened to him, he's my spiritual father. He said a statement that touched me so much. He said, the person that spends much of your time with your child, if that person is dark, doesn't matter how brown you are, your child will be dark. He said the person who spends much of the time with your child is the reflection that will happen on the child. The character, the behavior, the words, everything. So you parents who are too busy for your families, don't be surprised tomorrow what you see.
They will pick that.
They will pick that. So it was like, spare some time. In the busy time you have, spare some time. Today, I'm going to be with my children, and I'm going to talk to them, and I'm going to hear. I'm going to be with my husband. My husband tells me that for him is a late late person. He comes very late at home. But morning hours, you always say, today I've given my wife time. And you know, it speaks a lot to me. It says, oh, so in his busiest time, he's a very busy man.
Yeah,
he also thinks about his wife, that my wife needs this time. So we're able to talk as a family, we are able to laugh, we're able to plan around, we're able to think. But when you don't have time, you become strangers. Are you aware of that? You become strangers.
Yes. Because
this
the
one
communication,
and
the
that
gap
life
widens.
By the way, that life, look it in the Western world. I have traveled, she has traveled, you have traveled, we have seen, we have lived with people in their houses. These people, they don't know each other.
They don't say, how are you? No one speaks to you on the train, no one says hi.
Do you know that life now, they don't even have that time to eat together. We are still blessed in Africa, where we can have a time as a family. She lived in UK for many years. She can tell you, that life is all about working. Everybody's looking for money. There's a family we lived in, I was like, what's going on in this home? It's either the husband is the one there with you in the morning, the wife comes at night. The husband has already gone. It's either the wife is coming in and the husband is going out. The children are also doing the same. Hi. They don't know each other. They don't have time for prayer together. They don't have time to eat together. So children are developing strange behaviors that parents are not aware of. I pray that here in Africa we come to a point where we be so intentional about this, to know that we need to raise children in a godly way. We need to know our children. You know, you can be having 5 children, but you don't know their characters. And teachers know their children better than you. Why? Because we are too busy in the world.
And each child needs a special kind of
and they are
attention.
Different.
Yes, like I have 2 teenagers now, but each of them has a different personality.
Because children are different.
Yes, the way you're mentoring each one of them, you can know this one is my time today. So you will not know that until you're spending time with them. So you may find that's why sometimes children want to spend time with the nannies, with the other people who they feel like they can open up to them. Be friendly, parents, to your children.
I
be friendly so they can open up to you.
One of my spiritual sons shared this story with me. He said, "Mommy, I want you to pray with me. I'm struggling with something. I feel like I can confide in you. I feel so. I feel at peace." I said, "Okay, go ahead, son. Let's talk." He was a minister in church, and we talked. And he said, "I was this person who was raised by mom and dad. At a certain point, they separated. When they separated, mommy was very busy, of course, running around as a single mother, looking for money to take care of us, because I think the dad had gone with another woman, and he didn't have that much time or even to think about his children, to take care of them. So, of course, they needed to study. And time came when he was so much in the hands of the auntie, the maid, to the extent that this maid was abusing this guy sexually. And he said, "I'm struggling with this thing even right now. I'm a married man, but I'm struggling with this thing, and I've never shared with anybody. But this thing started when I was young. I was exposed to this life when I was very young, a maid. But because mommy comes back home late, dad is nowhere, parents are nowhere, they are busy in their running around. Some are not even separated. They are married, but they are busy in their career, traveling to India, traveling to America, traveling to this. They are just up and down. And all that they are telling you, their justification is, we are looking for money. We want to give a good life, befitting life to our children, which is not wrong. But you cannot do it in the expense of your family and your children. Do you know children are psychologically tortured, emotionally tortured? They are going through a lot. Are you available to sit as a mother and hear from them? Why is it children are easily opening up to other people, not us? Why? Because we are taken with our career. There is no balance. So I'm calling for balance and prioritize, like she has said.
It's very important to have priority, because when you prioritize something, you create time for it.
That's right.
The same, we are talking about children, but also spouses. But I think Kiganda talked about spouses growing apart over children.
That's right.
So don't forget your partner as you're going. Keep the communication channel open. When you're busy, like what she was saying, Bishop is giving her time. Are we okay? Are we fine?
Are we fine?
Even when you've traveled, are you talking every day? You need to keep that communication open, because when it closes, then you start to grow apart. And I think this also happens with our children. When you start to grow apart, you stop knowing them, they stop knowing you. And also being friendly. Why I talked about being friendly, when you are too tough, When you're not open about your own experiences, when you don't have time with them, they will also not open up to you.
Definitely.
They will prefer to open up to people and keep
To
that
strangers.
good image all the time. Yeah, I'm okay, mom, I'm going to school, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. And I think we talked about role models. I want to advise, in this generation we have a growing number of, unfortunately, single mothers. And I think that, or some single fathers as well. I think it's very important, even if you don't have that support, like the man is no longer in your life, have role models. Have people that can speak in your children as father figures. I find that it's very important for girls, for children, to have that balance. Of course, people that you trust, because we also know that
Don't
children
expose
are
them
very
to
vulnerable
anyhow.
to
Yeah,
abuse.
anybody,
Yeah, but you need to have good examples of mentorship. When sometimes, many times, there are organizations like at Focus, they have like youth sessions. Find time and go there. Let your children meet people who are successful. Let them learn something new.
Yes.
It's very important for them to be mentored and understand, so that they don't
and
grow up
you talked
hating
about
marriage.
open communication
Yes.
and being empathetic to one another.
Yeah.
And have effective communication.
It's very important for balance.
When we are taken so much in our career, we are creating a big gap between us. And sometimes we are married people, we have family, and we have career people,
Yes.
and now we fill in children in the middle. So when we give birth to the firstborn, we bring her in the middle like this. She has taken all the time,
Yeah.
mommy, and this is especially to women. Yes, you are a career woman, but I said, okay, let me create time. But the time you are creating is only for children.
for your
You
children.
have forgotten your spouse. Let me say this to people. Before children comes in the family, it starts the two of you.
Starts with you.
You met the two of you, loved each other, and you agreed that we are going to marry. Let's not allow the children to separate us. Let's not allow money to separate. Let's not
Yes.
allow the career to separate.
Yes.
Let's always be intentional about this. That at the end of the day, it started the two of us. It is us who are going to raise these children.
Yes.
I believe if the children seeing that mommy and daddy are one, they can grow very
They
well.
have a good
Yeah.
role model.
Yes,
They have
exactly.
something to refer to.
They always say, mommy
I'll be
and
like
daddy were
them.
like this. I want to be like
Yes.
mommy and daddy.
Yes.
They loved each other to the last day. We have seen these people being together. They have never prioritized anything above their marriage.
their marriage.
It was always their marriage first. It was
Yes.
always them first. It was
Yes.
always the two of them. I think we need to be so intentional about this. So when we marry, let's remain as friends and let this friendship continue growing. I grew up hearing in the ministry I grew up from that it's not love the person you marry. You understand that point? It's not you marry someone for love, but love the person you marry. Meaning to say you're going to be intentional, you're going to grow this love every day. Growing this love, you're going to create time for this person, you are going to respect this person, you are going to honor this person, you are going to respect their emotions,
Yes.
their opinions. You are going to give a listening ear. You are going to think about them. So you grow to love the person you marry. And you learn every day. And every day you say, I have to love this
have to
person.
love this person.
Despite the challenges I'm facing. But one thing I should tell myself, I must love this person. Where there is love, there is way. Where there is love, there is
wins.
forgiveness.
Love always
wins.
1 Corinthians 13.
The exact love
Love
wins.
always wins. Love is the greatest.
Love is the greatest weapon. Love wins. Love can never fail. We can be challenged everywhere, but where there is
Yes.
love, we can win. So I pray that as couples, as much as we are running around in our careers, in our business,
Yes.
in whatever we are doing, raising children, taking care of children, let's not allow anything to separate us. Let's build this friendship. Let's have this intimacy. Let us be one in everything, so that even when children come to us, they know Daddy has said this, definitely that's the answer you're going to find from Mommy,
mommy's,
because they are
opinion.
one person. They are inseparable. They are an unbeatable team. These people, they are one. Even if when you are at church, as we are born again, nobody should separate that there is a sister who came in the middle, what. We might have started small. We might have started small, and then God bless us again. We get money. Again, money should not separate us. So, like she's saying, prioritize your spouse.
Pastor talked about money not separating us. Money should actually bring us together.
That's right.
Money should help us to add value to each other. Money can help you go back to school.
That's right.
Grow together as a couple. I think we were talking the other day on the pastor's wife show, saying like the man is up there and the wife is here. You need to grow together as a couple so you are both happy. When you're seeing that your partner is struggling in an area, support them to improve in that area. And don't go in saying, oh, you know, people say they might disappoint you. You never know. No, you're putting in 100%. And God is a partner in the marriage. He will reward you for that.
Definitely.
You're not just trying out things. Everything you're doing, invest in your marriage. You're investing in it. Marriage is an investment. And in due course, you will reap. You reap godly children. You will reap, your children will grow with long life. Lord will satisfy you.
Amen.
Because we are talking about raising godly families, praying together, reading the Bible. There is somewhere where the Lord told the children of Israel, tell your children about this God. Tell them to remember these commands. And it's very important that we tell our children, why do we have the faith we have? You know?
Actually,
how come
he was
we are
telling the children of Israel after moving from Egypt,
Yes.
and going through all those
wilderness,
they were not part of the wilderness, but when you get there, tell them what God did. So it's very important to tell our children that our God is bigger, our God is great, even our spouses. Be the first line of encouragement. For me, my husband has really encouraged me even in my career, you know.
That's right.
You know, you can do it, even in the church. You can be better, I believe in you. You can do this. Please be your spouse's support. Don't let people say this is like this and you're building on that.
Even if you are married to a non-believer.
Yes.
Because there are those people, because we don't want to leave them out, there are those ones who found themselves, they have been married, and then one gets born again, and the other one, they're still believing in God for the one also to get born again. Maybe when in such kind of a marriage, we're not only saying that you should respect your husband because he's born again. The Bible has a position to everybody who is married. Even if your husband is not born again, it does not mean that he's not born again, you don't respect him. The Bible actually said your character
will win him
to Christ. That is 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 1. That wives who have husbands who are not born again, with your character, it will draw them to Christ. You who have known Christ, you who have the light,
you have a greater responsibility.
You have a greater responsibility. A man might be drunkard, and you are not drunkard. Now you have known God. You don't disrespect him. Respect him. That's why we told the love never fails. You are going to be so intentional in this marriage to say, I want my husband to be born again. But this born again, you are not going just to preach the word and you hear your deeds, your character. When he speaks to you, do you listen? Do you respect him? Do you value him as a man as much as he's a drunkard? And you mashakaya talabaya speak in tongues. After speaking in tongues, honor him as a man. That honor alone will bring this man to Christ. The same applies.
And we are talking about balance, Pastor. You're talking about honoring such women as well who are in those relationships. You need to balance also the time you are at church.
Thank you.
You're not going to say, you know, me, I was praying, me, I'm fasting, me, you know. Don't use the faith to make you lose your marriage and to push that person away from Christ. You need to balance the time you are at church.
Some women have been slapped where they were not supposed to be slapped. Because you are being foolishness. You are born again. You are filled with the Holy Spirit.
Your
husband
should be wiser.
Has no idea. You are in overnight on Monday, overnight on Tuesday, overnight on Wednesday.
You're reading the book of Habakkuk. He doesn't know.
All the time.
Use
you are
wisdom.
in Zephaniah. You are dying in Zephaniah.
Thank you so
Your
much.
husband wants conjugal rights. You can't give it to
So like
him.
I'm fasting.
I'm fasting.
For
40 days,
us
40
believers,
nights. You are on
even
prayer
your
mountain. You are on prayer mountain, and your husband, you are denying
You're
him.
not born again.
That's why
Please
not
use
everybody
wisdom.
is slapped in marriage, but some have
caused themselves
to be slapped.
To be slapped.
Yes.
Have
wow,
wisdom.
thank you so much, women of God. It is such an interesting moment. It is such an interesting show.
Yes.
But we have to really come to the end of the whole thing. Marriage is a very big topic. And as we are talking now, it's about balancing. As at our closing notes, it has been balancing. If you're talking about prayer, kindly balance. If you're talking about career,
you're not going to be in church the whole day and you're married.
Right.
Balance,
and,
because
every day, every night.
So as we come to the end of
please.
this show, Mommy, I want us to have the closing remarks. I think I'll start with Pastor Florence. Mommy will crown it all, and we shall say bye-bye to our dear viewers. Thank you so much.
Wow. Marriage. I want to remind you, viewers, that marriage is possible. A good marriage is possible. Have the right heart, the right intention. God will give you the grace because He will see your intention. You can balance, be intentional, find the time, work together, support each other, and God will give you the grace. It has been an honor to speak to you today. I send regards as usual to my beloved husband.
Wow.
Not because I'm on set, but because he's really a good man. He has supported me down the years. I love you and my sons, my 4 sons.
Thank you so much, dear viewers. That is from the birthday girl.
And thank you so much for the wonderful
Over
wishes.
to Mommy. Thank you.
God bless you.
I just want to say
so
thank you to our highly esteemed viewers. Thank you for loving us. Thank you for watching KTV. This is Life Connect, where we navigate together the real issues of life. Today we're just talking about marriage, and this is the topic I'm so passionate about. Marriage, really, it flows in my blood. So when I start, I don't want to stop. But anyway, we have to end the show. You have to make sure your marriage will work. What you invest is what you harvest. Invest in your marriage so that you can harvest good results, good children, godly children, wonderful family, and you'll always enjoy and give glory to God. And I should say to people that marriage is a ministry, and we are all accountable to God. We'll give back accountability to our God. So don't just sit down and say things will happen. Work for it. I want to thank you so much for watching, and the Lord bless you. Bishop, God bless you so much, darling. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to give us Kingdom Media to air us in our views and our thought. God bless you. Love you.
Thank you so much, women of God. I've enjoyed hosting you, and always please
we love you.
Be coming
and
coming because our viewers, I know they are learning much. They are taking in a lot, and we are blessed to have you on the set tonight. Dear viewers, thank you so much for watching. It has been Life Connect, navigating life together. We mind and care. The bonding as we do this marriage, there is a lot, but the bond and the factor behind everything, it's about love. The women of God have told us that with love, all can work. You can't fail. Where there is love, everything can work out. Do you want your marriage to work out? Be intentional. Have love for this person. There is nothing that is going to fail you. Amen. We cannot continue with the show. I just want to remind you that we are here at Shine Resort Hotel in off Entebbe Road. We are in Chigo. And the numbers are running down. Please follow us on our social media pages. They're also running down on the screen. It is my name. It has been nice talking to you and having you as a great audience. Catch up next time. Thank you.